everything changes.
Hi, it's Miss Alyssa.
Hi from Miss Jordan.
Hi, it's Miss Jamie.
Hi, it's Miss Anna.
Hi, it's Miss Wendy.
What is up, RPC kids? Welcome to church today. My name is Miss Jordan. I am coming at you as someone who leads at the Richmond campus. Maybe you're joining as someone who's attended the Richmond campus before. You know, we have multiple campuses. So we have the Richmond, the Missouri City, the Weston campus, and then you guys that are with us online. And I'm so excited that you're here with us today. We are wrapping up the month of November. We've been talking about gratitude all month long, and that is letting others know that you see how they have helped you. So as we talk about gratitude and we're practicing to get in the habit of being grateful and showing people that we see how they've helped and that we recognize them and that we appreciate them, as we're doing all of that, we have a memory verse that maybe by this time you've actually committed to memory and it's in your mind and in your heart. So it's with you no matter wherever you go. And that is how we're going to kick off today. So here it is on the screen. All right, here's how it goes. So we're going to raise the roof first. Remember, the motions help us to keep it in our brain. So when we put our words and our arms together, it helps it to stick. That's why we're doing that. Give thanks to the Lord, then double thumbs up, because he is good. His faithful love continues forever. Hold your hands up like a Bible, Psalm 136, and it starts right there at verse number 1. Okay, let's do it together. Ready? Give thanks to the Lord, because he is good. His faithful love continues forever. So easy. Psalm 136, verse 1. So Psalm is in the middle of the Bible. So if you were to hold your physical Bible and just open it up to where you think the middle was, you'd probably end up in that book of the Bible. And then you're going to find the big 136 and start right there at the beginning. Now, remember, if you don't have a Bible at home, you can look it up on the Holy Bible app on your phone or your iPad, and you can also just type it into Google on a computer and pull it up that way. So we can find the Bible a lot of different ways. Our story today from the Bible is about the Lord's Last Supper. This is a really special meal that Jesus shared with some of his friends, and there's a bigger story behind it because what happened after the Last Supper was a really, really big deal in our history, right? In the timeline of Jesus coming to earth, being born as a baby, then he grew up like a kid, just like you and me, and then he was a teenager, and then he was a grown-up, and then, remember, he died on the cross to pay the price for your bad choices and my bad choices, the people that have gone before us, the people that haven't even been born yet, for everyone's bad choices. Those are called sins. He paid the price for those bad choices so that we could have a relationship with him and, if we choose to believe, spend forever in heaven with him. So that picture is an example of what it may have looked like at that last meal together with Jesus and his disciples, some of his closest friends, before he died on the cross. So we call that the Lord's Supper, and they're eating the Passover meal. So what we do now in church, you may have seen your mom or your dad or your grandma or grandpa or some adult take communion, and that's usually with some sort of cracker or juice or wine. And together, the cracker represents the body of Jesus, and the juice or the wine represents the blood that was shed. So when Jesus died on the cross, this is a way for us to recognize and remember that ultimate sacrifice that he made for you and for me, because he loves us so much, and to honor what he did. So we take communion as a way to remember what Jesus did for us, this big, giant gift that God gave us by sending his son to pay the price for our bad choices. And this Last Supper was what they did together before he died on the cross to do that. So take a look at our Bible story today. This is something special and really important in the Bible. It's a really big moment in the Bible because everything changed after Jesus died on the cross. Check it out.
Oh, fantastic. That was Johnny Boy and the Beef Jerky Boys running away from a fight. Up next, we got more hits for you. But first, let's take some calls. Hello, you are on WSO with John.
Hey, John, this is Steve at WJED in Skokie. Just wanted to give a shout out and say thank you for bringing so much joy to the people.
Thanks, Steve. Right back at you. Hey, you're on the air with John.
John,
This is Barb and Vidalia at WON. Just wanted to say thank you. You're sweeter than honeycomb dipped in molasses. Keep up the good work, sugar.
Thanks, Barb. Hello, talk to me.
Hi, this is Brandon, your co-host on the So-and-So Show. I wanted to give you a shout out and say, you're the best host ever.
But seriously, Brandon, if anyone is the best host ever, it's you, buddy.
Yeah. How about some music from Planet John's guitar hit, Chain Reaction of Love?
You're not the only one who's good at impersonations.
Whoa.
Hello, everyone. I'm Brandon.
I'm John.
And welcome to the So-and-So Show. So, John.
Hey, Jabberwocky is a nonsense poem written by Lewis Carroll, included in his novel Through the Looking Glass.
Yeah. Okay, John.
Yeah.
I mean, are you going to do the show with me today?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I just have to get my daily reading in.
Okay, right now?
Yeah. I mean, it's important to make a habit of reading a little bit every day, kids.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Today I'm reading this classic, The Jay in Kekalapadaya.
Do you have to read it in the middle of the show?
I've missed a few days and I'm trying to catch up.
Yeah, how many days?
What day is it? 1, 2, 3 years. Huh. Did you know that Jacksonville, Florida is the largest city by land area in the continental United States?
I did not know that.
This book is incredible. You can learn almost anything you want, as long as it starts with a J and existed before 1967. Yeah, I don't know why more people haven't read it.
Yeah, me neither. By the way, if you don't know what an encyclopedia is, you can look it up on the internet, along with literally anything else you want to learn about.
What? Not all jaguars have spots. That's crazy.
John, please read that some other time. We're in the middle of something here.
I know, but I found that I have a better chance of keeping a good habit when I habit stack.
When you what now?
When I habit stack.
Yeah, I heard the words.
It's when you take one habit and you stack it onto another. Like, I'm in the habit of doing the So-and-So Show with you every week. If I stack my reading habit on top of that, then I won't forget to read.
Okay, can't you stack it onto another habit? I mean, what's another habit you have?
Well, when I wake up in the morning, I have a habit of screaming before I do anything else.
Why in the world?
Clears the lungs.
Oh, fine. Okay, why don't you habit stack reading after your morning scream?
Oh, because after my morning scream, I drink my morning coffee.
Okay, then habit stack reading after your coffee.
Oh, but that would get in the way of my morning cry.
Is the paddleball part of it?
Habit stacking.
Okay. So you've got a full morning.
Uh-huh.
All right. But we've got to figure out some place to stack your reading habit.
Okay, we can make a game of it.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah!
Habit Stacking Heroes.
The game is easy. Instead of doing habits one after another, we're going to do them all at once. Whoever can do the most good habits at the same time wins. Make sense?
Not at all. Let's play.
Ready, set, go!
Brush your teeth.
Okay. Easy.
Uh-huh. Look at that.
Sit-ups.
Zero.
Okay. All right.
Practice math.
What? Okay. Practice math. This is easy. I don't even need a calculator.
2 equals 4.
Vocal warm-ups.
Oh. Cats can't kick cups. Cats can't kick cups.
Do the bicycle.
Cats can't kick cups.
You're both winners.
Oh.
Are we?
Hey, I've never felt more productive.
It's Bible story time with Cameron.
Hey, good people.
Hey, Cameron. Thanks again for taking our friend Kellen's place this month.
Anytime. What's going on with you guys today?
Habit stacking. You want to try?
Trust me, Cameron, it's a hard no.
Okay, but habits can be good sometimes. In fact, today we're talking about a habit that began thousands of years ago that's still happening today.
Awesome. Take it away, Cameron.
You've probably heard of the Lord's Supper, or maybe you've heard it called communion, or even a really fancy word like Eucharist. Different people observe the Lord's Supper in different ways, sometimes every week or every month, or maybe a few times a year. Sometimes people use bread and wine, sometimes they use juice and crackers. But even though everyone does it a little bit differently, the reason they do it is the same. They do it to remember. When Jesus and his disciples were having their Last Supper together, they themselves were remembering something called the Passover. Hundreds of years before Jesus, God's people, the Israelites, were slaves in Egypt. And God chose a man named Moses to rescue his people from the Egyptian Pharaoh. Moses said,
Let my people go.
but the Pharaoh refused, so God sent 10 plagues: frogs, sick animals, flies. But the 10th plague was by far the worst. Moses warned Pharaoh that if he didn't let God's people go, every firstborn son in Egypt would die, including Pharaoh's own son. But Pharaoh refused. God gave the Israelites a way to protect themselves from what was coming. They were to sacrifice a lamb, then spread some of its blood on the doorframe of their houses. This would be a sign for God to pass over that home and not harm anyone inside. That night, those with the blood of the lamb on their doorframes were spared. But Pharaoh's firstborn son died, along with every other firstborn son in Egypt. So Pharaoh sent the Israelites away. After hundreds of years in slavery, they were finally free. That's what Jesus and his disciples were remembering during their last meal together. They were remembering the day when God rescued his people from slavery in Egypt. But Jesus was about to give the celebration a whole new meaning for you and me. When Jesus had given thanks, he broke the bread and he said,
This is my body. It is given for you. Every time you eat it, do it in memory of me.
After supper, Jesus took the cup of wine and said,
This cup is the new covenant in my blood. Every time you drink it, do it in memory of me.
Jesus knew that God had a plan for another incredible rescue. This time, he would rescue the whole world. And this time, Jesus himself would be the sacrifice. That's why we celebrate the Lord's Supper today. So we can show God how grateful we are to him for sending his son, and so that we can get in the habit of remembering how Jesus gave his life to save you and me. The end.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah, it's so cool to think that when we take communion or the Lord's Supper, we're literally doing something that Christians have been doing since the beginning of the church.
And that's over 100 years.
Try 2,000 years.
I say again, wow.
Yeah. It's important for us to have things we do regularly that can remind us to be grateful to God.
Hey, you ought to have it stack that, John.
Yeah, I'll put that right after my morning cry. You see, Cameron,
You don't have to explain.
Okay.
Thanks for the story, Cameron.
You bet, guys. See you next time.
Looks like we've got some remembering to do, John.
I'm ready to try, but it's just hard for me. I can't even remember to send my Aunt Maisie a thank you card for my graduation present.
Your graduation?
Oh, yeah, I've been meaning to do it for 25 years.
Reveal the question! What helps you remember to be grateful?
Well, doing the Lord's Supper helps me remember to be grateful for what Jesus did for us.
Yeah, and being outside can help me remember to be thankful for all the beautiful things God made.
Yeah, what about you? What helps you remember to be grateful? Not just to God, but to people too.
Yeah, talk about it together.
And we'll see you next time on the So and So Show. And I'll be moving on to the K in the
God, when you draw near, you change the atmosphere. There's no shame anymore. The sin that held my heart, you have lifted off. I await the city love. In you, I come alive. Eyes wide, and dreams inspired. Your truth has opened my eyes. My heart's alive, my heart's alive. The weight has been released. No pressure on me, no pressure on me. Love has rescued me. Forever I'm free, forever I'm free. Your spirit bright inside, the future open wide. You are all I'm living for. There's no power to fear. I am in the clear. You've overcome it all. In you, I come alive. Eyes wide, my dreams inspired. Your truth has opened my eyes. My heart's alive, my heart's alive. The weight has been released. No pressure on me, no pressure on me. Love has rescued me. Forever I'm free, forever I'm free. The weight has been released. No pressure on me, no pressure on me. Love has rescued me. Forever I'm free, forever I'm free.
So if you want to read more about that Bible story, you can check that out in 1 Corinthians chapter 11. And here's the overall story is that we want to get in the habit of being grateful. We want to be grateful for little things, and we want to be grateful for the big things, like that ultimate gift that God gave us by sending Jesus, his son, so that he would do the amazing thing that he did by dying on the cross and then not staying dead, but rising again and being alive so that we could have a relationship with him forever if we choose to believe. That's a really big thing to be grateful for, but we can't forget the smaller things that are just as awesome every day in our life to be grateful for too. When you practice gratitude, when you practice saying thank you, not just saying it, but thinking it too, when you are living your life in a way of saying, God, that is so awesome. Thank you for putting this person in my life, for giving me this opportunity in my life, for reminding me of blank, blank, blank. You name it, you fill in the blank. There's so many things that we can be grateful for. When we get in the habit of living our life that way, things turn around. There's new reason for celebration. Communion is a celebration. It's a way for us, remember, to honor the sacrifice that Jesus made, and for us to celebrate that because of that sacrifice, we get to spend forever in heaven with him when we believe. I know I've said it like 3 times now, but it's so awesome. And this is a huge reason for celebration. So this week, I want you to focus on remembering that gratitude is not just a moment, right? It's not just when you say thank you. It shouldn't happen one time a week. It's not just when you're praying. It's a whole way to live your life. Being grateful, appreciating what others have done for you, and letting them know that you see how they've helped, that is a whole way to live your life. And when we start living our life that way, things get better. Things turn into celebration. So you guys, I want to play a little game. Here's how it's gonna work. Okay, I'm gonna put a picture up on the screen for 10 seconds, only 10 seconds. It's like an I Spy picture. So it has a whole bunch of stuff in it, but I thought this would be a fun way to kick off Christmas because it's December next week. So when you look at the picture, I want you to pick out as many Christmas things that you can find in the picture within the 10 seconds. Write them down. So this is your time. Go get something to write with and a piece of paper. Write them down and then put them in the comments below. One lucky winner will get pizza delivered to their house this week just for participating. That is so fun and so cool. But there's going to be all kinds of different stuff. So I'm not going to tell you any of them because that would be cheating. But the picture's about to be up and you have 10 seconds. Ready, set, go! All right, that was fun. I can't wait to see your guesses and what you found in the I Spy picture. I had a great time with you today, and I'm excited to see you back next week. In December, we're starting to talk about the Christmas story. So we're gonna be learning about baby Jesus and when he was born and all the different parts of the story leading up to that. It is some of my favorite parts of the Bible. So I will see you back next week for that. Let's fold our hands and bow our heads and pray it out. God, thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to practice gratitude so that we can get in the habit of being grateful. You've given us so many blessings, God, and we really spent some time this month focusing on those things instead of what we don't have. So God, as we move into December, we ask that we continue that mindset and that you would remind us and whisper to us that we have so much to say thank you for. We love you, God. Amen. All right, y'all, I will see you next week. Have an amazing week.